everybody, it's Clyde here. I am not a streamer, I am not a YouTuber, I am not even that good of a World of Warships captain, but I had a good game the other day and a friend of mine challenged me to edit this into a video and post it on YouTube, so here we are. If you're here watching, this is the first of these videos that I have ever made, maybe the last, we'll see. Again, as I said, I'm not an expert destroyer captain, but I had a pretty good game here, and so what I'd like to do is just kind of walk through what it was that was going through my mind as each of these things happened. What it wound up being a pretty great game, and it really wound up being a series of correct decisions based on what I saw happening around me in the game. Doesn't always happen, let me tell you, but when it does, it's pretty sweet. So if you'll follow me, here we go. So I'm in the HMS Daring. It's a tier 10 British destroyer, a high rate of fire, decent torpedoes, lots of short smokes, and a number of acoustic charges as well. So I just sailed into the A-cap here. I've got a friend in an Alexander Nevsky, that's the Russian tier 10 light cruiser. Who's behind me, and I bumped into a Fletcher here. So he darted behind an island, which was smart on his part. I threw some torpedoes. He was too smart to take the bait. Because I have 4 acoustic charges in the Daring, I went ahead and hit my acoustics, and it was a good thing too, because you can see these Fletcher torpedoes coming in. So I turn, make myself as skinny as possible, and they go by. No big deal. Again, at this point, I'm still hoping for my torps to nail that Fletcher. Of course they don't. I've already spoiled that for you, and he gets away. Around this time, I'm kind of wondering where he's at, if I should go back into Alpha or what. If you look at the mini-map there, you can see that there's a friendly Massachusetts just in front of me. In fact, there he is on the screen as I swing my camera around. He's heading up to kind of challenge that side of the map as well. If you take a look at that mini-map, you'll note that my side of the map, it's me and that Massachusetts, and then you can see my friend in the Nevsky coming around. So it's not very heavy on my side of the map. Now, I had not realized this at this point, so I'm sailing around, and I see this Shimakaze over here, and I think, well, there's an opportunity to get rid of a threat to the big ships, the big boys on my team. So, of course, I start shooting at this guy, pop some smoke to try to get hidden from that mass of red ships north of me. And it feels like, when I'm taking these shots, it felt like I had to shoot this guy like so many times. And in fact, if you're watching my hits, I get 20 hits on this guy before he goes down. During the game, I thought I was missing a lot. I was just so frustrated by the misses. Luckily, he double beached, made that really easy for me. In my opinion, I should have been able to clean him up quicker. But at the end of the day, we got the kill, so I felt pretty good moving on. So at this point, I've popped some smoke. I can see some Fletcher smoke over there. I just killed the Shima, so I feel pretty strong there. 10,000 damage on the clock. My team has both the B and the C caps, and look at that. Fletcher's stepped into Alpha, and you can see that the Alpha cap is starting to go red. I'm seeing my Massachusetts up there, and I'm thinking, boy, this guy's a clown. He proves later not to be, but I thought, man, he should not be up there next to this Fletcher. How dangerous. On the other hand, the Massachusetts is a pretty good secondary boat, so maybe it'll work out just fine for him. So I decide I'm going to kind of wander up over there. At some point, I don't know if he's already done it or not, I wasn't watching the chat, but he asks me to come up and back him up, because he can see the writing on the wall. He can see all of these battleships that are coming around, these heavy cruisers and things. So I start taking shots at this Bismarck. I figure he can't see me anyway, although at this point I'm targeted by like 4 ships, so that was pretty dangerous. But I figure, hey, Daring's got a high rate of fire, this island's going to keep me safe. At this point, I get radared. I don't think I knew at that point who it was. I think it's a Stalingrad, right? So I see a Stalingrad up there in the mix, and I go, okay. So Massachusetts has asked me to come up, and I said, hey, stay back behind the island. Keep yourself safe from their fire, and I'll step out here and spot them for you. And that way, when they come around, you can take a hit. Because obviously, if that Massachusetts goes forward, he's just going to get pummeled by 4 heavy ships. I'm up here, I decide to chuck a few torpedoes out into the water just to see what's happening. Now, if you're paying attention to the minimap, you can see my friend in the Nevsky is back there. hanging out. In fact, he's kind of coming forward at this point. He'd done some circling around, and I think he was getting ready to put his radar to work on that Fletcher. So my torps are away. I'm trying not to shoot right now, because if I give myself away, I could get in a lot of danger. But I see how much trouble my friend in Massachusetts is in here. And so I'm thinking to myself around now that I've got to start opening my guns up. Because that mass is in a real dangerous spot. He's about to have 4 ships shooting at him. So I open my guns, not because I think I'm going to get a lot of damage on this Bismarck, but I do open them up because I think if I present a second target, I can make my Massachusetts live longer. The longer he lives, the more reloads he gets. The more reloads, the more shots, the more damage, right? I'm always looking for that W. Now, at this point in the game, we're up 3 ships. Those torpedoes that I hit the Thunderer with, I intended to hit the Bismarck with them. I told you earlier, I am not a great World of Warships player. I'm okay if I'm on your team. I think I'll serve you well. But I'm not, a 60% Unicum player. So here I'm taking some hits from the secondaries off that Bismarck, but I'm chucking a bunch of shells at him. It's like a 2-3 second reload in this thing. Around now, I catch sight of that Fletcher, so this Joker's popped up around here. I don't have any smoke, or I'm about done laying my smoke, and unfortunately my nose is out of it. The Fletcher can see me, so I'm still spotted for the enemies. The Stalingrad is radaring me, right? So I'm chucking out shells right here. And I hit my acoustics. I hit them early because I know that Fletcher's going to torpedo me or the Massachusetts or both of us. I'd already sent another set of torps. I just got a hit on, I think it was the Thunderer again, maybe? I'm not sure. Gosh, I should watch this back very closely one more time. What I want to do right now is I want to torp that Massachusetts because I want to save my friend, the Massachusetts, from all that trouble. But I remember that this Stalingrad is coming around, and I know if I sit around here and wait for that mass to come out, A, I'm at a bad angle to torp him anyway, and B, I'll probably get killed. So I think to myself, I'm going to go over here to fight this Stalingrad, and lo and behold, he pops up. I chuck 5 torpedoes out the right side, the starboard side of my little destroyer, and away they go. I'm trying to use this island to stay safe because if I misjudged, if he turns, if anything happens, he's going to turn and unload on me. I know he doesn't have his radar anymore, but I'm also really close to assured acquisition. But look at those babies. Friggin' beautiful. And because he's Russian strong, he takes all 5. So I get 5 torpedo hits, 58,000 damage. At this point, I'm at 140k. Feeling pretty strong and shocked that I'm having this good of a game. So I'm turning around here. And if you were watching the minimap, you saw that my friend who spawned in his, I think, gearing, he was in another DD. He went to the other side of the map. He just got killed. So now he's watching us. I'm trying to come over here and smoke up just so I can stay alive. I don't realize that that Massachusetts is right on me. I don't know that I'm looking at the wrong side of the map because I'm worried about these airplanes. So I focus my AA and I turn. I wasn't sure I was going to make this. This is what I realized, this mass is here. And I'm like, oh no, because I know that I'm dead. I'm hoping to get this torp swung around, and by golly, I do. So I get the torpedoes off. I think I land a few, 3 on him. And then those 2 go running off. Now, I'm dead. I've got 172,000 damage, and that poor Thunderer is steaming straight ahead, and if you can read what's about to happen, he's gonna get torped. Now what's interesting is this whole time I was so busy up front where I had no idea what was going on. Well, it turned out what was going on was my buddy in the Nevsky was back here. I mean, we were talking, but he was back here radaring things like that Stalingrad and that Fletcher for me. He's lighting fires on these battleships. He's keeping them from focusing on me. So even though he wasn't up there in the thick of things with me, he was doing a heck of a good job keeping the bad guys busy. Now, what's crazy is it was me, it was the Nevsky, and it was that Massachusetts, and we held off 5, 6, 7 ships on this side of the map, which led eventually to a pretty sweeping victory. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, again, I had a really wonderful game. It was extremely lucky on my part. I happened to make a bunch of correct decisions. I had great support in the term of vision from sensors off my buddy in the Nevsky, and support from that Massachusetts, the friendly Massachusetts on the side, who gave his life, yes. Could have lived longer if he'd gone somewhere else, yes. But putting his steel right there helped to hold off those 3 battleships, the super cruiser, the Fletcher, and, you know, if you really want to count that Shimakaze from earlier. I mean, what a game. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for joining me today. If you had fun here, leave a comment, like, subscribe. I don't know what YouTube people say, but I thought this was fun, so I wanted to post it for you guys. Let me know what you think, and have a great time. Stay safe out there and sail with friends. Take it easy.